Now, back to PTR Radio.
Spectacular group of men. You go find them, you throw your arms around them, you give them a big kiss on the mouth.
This is PTR Radio.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to PTR Radio here on the fabulous interweb. It's another Monday evening where we're on, and hopefully you are too, listening to us, chiming along on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, at PTR Radio. Just comment on the stream if you like. I am manning the streams yet again this evening because still haven't fixed it for Mike. So Mike will be checking out manually the stuff, but I'll be putting it on the stream for you. Sorry, it's been a busy couple of weeks, and that's just what it is. Carpenter never works on his own house. He's too busy with clients that pay. It's kind of the way that it works. So, this evening, lots of things to talk about, but you can call the show, 217-787-0232. If you'd like, you can get on the line with us, and we will take your phone calls. The phone is working, so you can feel free to give us a call, and we will listen to what you have to say. Maybe. You know, there are some situations where maybe we won't listen to what you have to say, but I think those are pretty few and far between.
He hasn't called in a long time.
Yeah. So, let's just make sure real quick. But I believe... Yep. It is a-working.
It's allowed.
In fact, we have some voicemails. Do we want to go through voicemails?
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
All right.
The white sheet's a little light tonight. Let's do it.
All right, so let's go through our voicemails and see if there is anything worth listening to.
Password. Login incorrect. Password.
Hold on a second. I have to remember what the hell the password is.
and somebody who can recognize tones is sitting there like...
Let's make a recording and play it back.
Your password is OU812.
Well, obviously that one was incorrect, so it's not going to work for him very well anyway. All right, let's see.
I was on where you figured that out. So I was on federal jury duty last month. Mm-hmm. Every Wednesday, I had to call a phone number and then punch in my number. But I had to punch it in like 8 times every time because it would be like whatever they were using to listen to the tones couldn't understand the tones and would get the number wrong every time. Very annoying.
New messages. Press 1 for new first message.
Sorry to bother you. This is Christine from National Disability, and I've already left you several voicemails regarding Social Security disability. Please call me back at 844-690-8191 if you are still interested.
Which one of you is claiming disability?
You or someone on your behalf inquired about applying for monthly Social Security disability benefits.
Colin?
And it is important we get started as quickly as possible. If you're already receiving Social Security benefits...
Message deleted. Message 2. Press 4 for the previous message. Message deleted. Message 3.
Just a heavy breather. A really heavy breather.
Message deleted. Message 4. Press 4 for the message deleted. Message 5.
Hey, this is Alexis with Credit Relief, and I'm just following back up with your request to get some financial help. As I did get you an approval I think you're going to like. Just know that the program is on a first-come, first-served basis. So call
message deleted. Message 6. Message deleted. Message 7.
Hey, this is Alexis with Credit Relief, and I'm
message deleted. Message 8.
Hey, this is Alexis with Credit Relief.
Message deleted. Message
Alexis
9.
is our fan.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Alexis with Credit Relief, and I'm just following back.
Message deleted. Message 10.
Everybody wants to help us with our credit.
Yeah.
Message
She needs to
deleted.
go work for
Message
those, auto,
11.
Warranty people.
Hey, this is Alexis with Credit Relief,
Another one.
and I'm just following back up with.
Message deleted. Message 12.
Hey, this is Alexis with Credit Relief.
Message deleted.
Seriously?
Message 13.
It says it's a radio show.
Message deleted. Message 14. Press 4 for the message deleted. Message 15.
Hey, this is Alexis with Credit Relief, and I'm just.
Message deleted. Last message.
One more.
Hey, this is Alexis with Credit Relief, and I'm.
Message deleted. No more messages.
Hey!
Okay, so most of our messages was Alexis wanting to give us a loan.
I'm actually disappointed. I had to go Google, like Alexis with Credit Relief. Somebody had to have gotten something. I got to get some kind of hit off of that. No. I am shocked with that many.
She is a determined individual. But the weird thing is, it says you've reached PTR Radio on our message.
They don't care.
What radio show is taking out a credit relief loan?
Now, you do realize that was a recording, correct? Because nobody could sound that consistent calling the same number over and over again. Eventually, she'd be like, hello, it's Alexis with Credit Relief again.
Well, I mean, that one lady
Are you
did say,
avoiding me?
But the first few messages was the same person saying, I left several messages. And after the first one, wouldn't you get it?
Yes, but
not Alexis with Credit Relief.
No, Alexis with Credit Relief is thick. Let's put it that way.
That was the one wanting to give us a disability.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, evidently she's disabled. She can't hear.
I'm disabled.
I'm disabled. Excuse me, I'm disabled. Oh, boy. Speaking of solving our money problems, though.
Well,
what the hell? Oh,
what is that?
It's a call.
What the hell? Oh,
hello, you're on the air.
Call. What the hell? Hello.
Okay, turn down your radio.
Hey, Mama Blair here. I'm going to help you with your credit relief.
Well, we need a lot of relief. Let me put it that way. All right. Well, we've proved the phone works.
I got a question for you guys. Have you seen this commercial with Jimmy Walker?
Oh yeah,
for Medicare.
The one with the total green screen background of him? Yeah.
Yeah. So, Guitar Center had a thing this past Saturday. The Vintage Gear Buyback event.
Yeah.
Now, I had an old amplifier sitting in my garage, and I told Kim about this. She said, so let's go. I said, yeah, let's go and see if we can get some money from the Guitar Center people. Every time I hear that commercial, all I can do is just say money over and over again.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I feel like I missed something because I very rarely actually see a commercial nowadays. So I feel like I need to go and find this commercial so I understand
the other day we were watching actually live television, and we were watching a movie on live television, and I was just sitting here like, this sucks. I got commercials. I can't go back if I got up to go to the bathroom. I mean, I could, obviously, if I wanted to, but it's like, this is just a bad experience. I much prefer watching things on my other services. We'll just put it that way.
Well, if a show comes on at 9 o'clock, we wait until like 9:20 before we'll actually watch it.
Yeah.
This way we have that buffer to fast forward through commercials.
Mm-hmm.
Very rare that we watch something, live as it happens.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, Dish Network was pretty cool in the fact of if the episode was over, I think 2 weeks old, and you were watching it, it had the commercial skip option enabled, so it would automatically jump over commercials for you. You didn't even have to jump through them yourself. But if it was but if it was if it was newer than 2 weeks old, you couldn't do that. You had to manually jump through the commercials.
Oh, see, now I get it. I always thought it was a hopper because it was like a giant DVR that could hold a lot of stuff. So it was like a hopper, not a hop over the commercials.
It kind of was, and then they had the satellite units, which were called the Joeys, which were the little, baby kangaroos.
So here's the good thing and the bad thing about YouTube TV. Mm-hmm. So YouTube TV, if you're watching something like half an hour behind, so you don't have to watch commercials, has the best fast forward interface that I've used on any of the different DVR systems, because you just keep hitting forward and it frees frames to that spot. Yeah. So you just like click, 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 click. Oh, there's the show. Play, and it's a lot less. Oh, I went too far, back it up, because it's very instant. But here's the problem. If it is a show that is going to be available on YouTube TVs on demand, then after a day, it switches from the version that it recorded to the version that's on demand, and then it has forced commercials.
Yeah, don't like that.
So that part I don't like. But I don't really use the on-demand stuff. I really only use it for the half-hour delay, because everything else I have all the services at this point, so I usually just watch things on.
Colin has all the meats. Service. That's what he's saying. He's the Arby's of television. Yeah. No, and Fubo had pretty good DVR capabilities too. I really like that one, but no. And but I wanted to get back to our credit relief problems that we have, obviously, according to all the voicemails. So we did get an email. I got an email in that may solve all of our money problems, and obviously it's legit because it came from news www.bbc.net.uk. So it's got to be legit if it's coming from the BBC, right? I mean, we all love the BBC. I know Mike sent them bomb threats before, but otherwise we all love the BBC.
Hey, no, you can't say that.
Like joke bombs.
In this day and age, you can't say that. You could say, I wanted to send them a bag of dicks.
Yeah, okay.
You could say, I wanted to send them a glitter device.
Okay. Mike wanted to set a paper sack full of poo on fire in their doorstep and ring their bell.
Okay, perhaps that's okay.
All right.
I don't want to be put on a list, man. Come on.
It's a list in England,
though. I don't hate the BBC. Listen, the BBC, I don't hate the BBC. I mean, they gave us the IT crowd. They gave us Doctor Who, I guess, is redeeming.
Mm-hmm.
So the last couple of seasons, maybe. But
so anyway, I get this email. It says, I'm a banker by profession. Thank God he's not a banker by accident. From London, United Kingdom. In case we don't know where London is, because there's hey, we have a Paris, Illinois. It could have been a London, Manchester, Wisconsin. I don't know. And currently holding the post of Director, Auditing and Accounting, Unit of the Bank. I have the opportunity of transferring the leftover funds, $18,750,000.
We're rich.
Yes, of one of my bank clients, Mr. Haley. I love Mr. Haley, who died along with his entire family in a plane crash. Well, unfortunate for Mr. Haley, but windfall
we
for
will
us.
Honor him.
Yes.
We will honor him.
We will take a couple $100 and have a stone made on his behalf. All expenses incurred by you and me in this transaction will be deducted out of the 10% of the total fund before the sharing of the fund according to the percentages agreed. I agree on 100% of the funds. I sincerely need your help because this might be my first and last opportunity of hitting big money. Okay?
Why is that?
I don't know. He is the post of
Are you
director
dying?
auditing of an accounting unit of the bank. I also would like you to treat this affair as both urgent, top secret, and confidential. Well, I will treat them as all three, not just both. I want you to also know that this transaction will involve some expenses, which will be shared among both of us. You can copy and paste the website and past to confirm. Okay? Show me your past. I would like to know his past. And then they give a URL. So, it's pretty simple. I think we just follow this link. We give them some account information, and then we collect our millions of dollars. It's pretty simple.
You go ahead and do that.
Yep. So I...
let me know how that works out, because all of my money is tied up in plastics.
Plastics?
One word.
See, I was looking for someone else to volunteer their information because, unfortunately, I have already given my information in exchange for a crate of diamonds to be shipped. And I am waiting on that windfall before I can invest in this one.
Yeah. I did something equally smart on my email that I got.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I was getting all these emails from a certain X something, and I was tired of getting, the occasional email. So I clicked one of the do not email me anymore links at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, apparently that decided that they took that as the opposite. They thought that I needed 40 emails every day from this certain somebody and every single member of his family telling me how great he is. So my email box is just getting bombarded with emails. So,
you mean opportunities?
If you are getting
opportunities.
If you are getting those emails, don't bother trying to unsubscribe because even though legally they're obligated to unsubscribe you, they'll just decide to give you more.
So are you saying
just ignore it?
Are you saying that a scam email who's trying to deprive you of funds through electronic fraud doesn't abide by the ICANN rules?
Well, okay.
I'm shocked. I'm appalled.
Technically, these are political emails, so it's more like a politician doesn't like to abide by ICANN rules.
Politicians don't like to abide by many rules, which was showcased. Which, if you need any more proof, just look at politicians who use songs by artists before they've gotten permission to use the song from the artist. And then there are big stories about such and such politician did not get rights to use so-and-so song, and so now they've received a cease and desist letter, or whatever. Which happens every single election cycle nowadays.
Of course.
Yeah.
Because everything is political no matter what. Except this show.
Yeah.
This show, not political, although we are going to talk about one. I don't even think it should be political item. And we probably should get it done early in the show because it doesn't flow with the rest of the show. Although, interestingly enough, there's a tie-in. So
true. This is true. There is a tie-in, but
so let's just get it out there. So we are not totally blind to what's going on in the rest of the world. All right. We have brought up other topics that went on in the world before. We talked about COVID-19 at length, and we decided we're not going to talk about that anymore. We have talked about some politics before. We decided we're not going to talk about that too much anymore, except for to make fun of everyone, which is our rule. But I think that it would be irresponsible of us not to discuss what's going on in Ukraine because it's so topical, right? And it's such in everybody's face, and it's a horrible thing that's going on. Nobody, I think, enjoys war. I can't think of anyone any normal person who would say, yes, war is a great thing. Let's have more of it.
So that's the key thing. Normal, right? The ones who tend to enjoy war are either the ones who profit from it and are not involved, or the ones that are sitting in the ivory tower making the decisions because they are not face to face with the horrors.
Yes. Now, of the three of us, Mike is the only one who has even attempted armed services. And, did you make it through basic training? I don't remember those.
No, I got hurt. I got hurt in basic, and they didn't even give me an option to, fix myself and try again. They said, nope, you're going home. So, great.
So far be it for us to say what the experiences of soldiers are, all right? But what we can do, because what is true, is this is, what's going on right now is one of the most documented things in history because it is taking place in a populated area where technology does exist. We are getting cell phone footage. We are getting drone footage. We are getting real-time, real updates from real people as to what's going on in the ground, and it is disturbing to look at. So, and that's what a lot of historians are saying, is that this will be the most well-documented, atrocious thing which has ever happened. So you think about it in that context, and it's a little bit disturbing. So, there's a lot of things going on with NATO, with the U.S., with Russia, with Ukraine, and all that kind of stuff. And all I have to think is there are a lot of innocent civilians that are being separated from their loved ones, that are being hurt, injured financially, physically, emotionally, mentally during this whole thing. And that's wrong no matter which side of the fight you're on. I also don't see the end game. The end game, if there is one, isn't 100% clear, and if it is clear, it's ugly. So, there's that. But we just wanted to mention it. I will say it's made an excuse for me to buy another flag. So there's that. So I have a Ukrainian flag on its way from Amazon. Of course, there wasn't any that had Prime shipping, so I'm pretty perturbed about that. I have to wait like a week. But, there's one on the way. And so, there are lots of ways that if you want to help out with the efforts there, you can help out. You can find other resources for where to find those. We're definitely not the show to do that. But do think about what's going on and educate yourself. Don't take our word for anything, but look into real resources and real information on it.
I will say I have some things that were made in the Ukraine. There are some wooden model kits called U-Gears. that I got off of Kickstarter several years ago, and haven't got around to actually building any of them. Well, I built one. But I was like, when I got them, it was a bit like, oh, they're from the Ukraine. I mean, you think like Kazakhstan and Borat, it's like, oh, Ukraine. It's like Russia Light. It's, that's probably where all those emails are coming from, that kind of thing. Now, after this, it's like, oh, those are from Ukraine. And, Ukraine is getting a good name for themselves out of it. I mean, that's not where you want to be, having your country attacked so everyone thinks that you're cooler than you were. But
I had to ask. I'm like, I had to research why the hell isn't Ukraine in NATO already, and it was some interesting reading why. And one of the reasons why is they were objected to initially was because there was a thought that they hadn't come far enough in the democracy, in getting a true democracy up and going. But according to, I believe it was a 2020 survey, they actually scored higher than most democratic countries, excluding the United States. And I loved it. I watched one one interview with a Ukrainian citizen, and they said, all we want to do is live in peace and have the ability to elect our own corrupt leaders. And I'm like, oh my God, she could have been American. Would have been the same thing. I'm like, that is the American dream, So I mean, their president was a comedian who played the president on a television show in the Ukraine. So, they're just like us. They had a TV, a TV guy as president. So, and there's a joke going around that says, Ukraine shows us that instead of patriots attacking the Capitol, they should defend the Capitol. So, but again, that's a partisan joke, but I thought it was funny. So, anyway, but that's our thing on Ukraine is just, definitely pay attention to what's going on.
And just like we kind of did with COVID, I don't want to paint a picture that this is the end of the world.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that there isn't the potential for this to be bad and affecting everyone in the world. And I'm not just talking about pocketbooks either. This has the potential to get really bad. But I don't think that this is going to lead to the end of the world.
No, I don't think so either. They talk about the doomsday clock and how many seconds we are till midnight, which is how close we are to destruction. And I think this is a tick closer, but I don't think it takes us all the way there. I think that anytime there's a war, especially when you have Putin threatening nuclear retaliation, I think that does send a message that, hey, we may have a crazy man with his finger over a button, even if it's a bluff.
And this is the thing. You brought up an interesting point. Like, what's the end game here?
Yeah.
We obviously know what Putin's goal is. Putin's goal, I believe I read something because they had a third round of talks between Russian and Ukraine officials today. And I thought I read something earlier.
They say that there are 4 points that they want Ukraine to agree to, and they will stop the war machine. Which honestly, in reading their 4 points, it doesn't make any sense. They want Ukraine to declare neutrality, meaning that they will stop trying to apply to NATO. They want them to declare those 2 provinces on the west side as sovereign Russian soil. They want them to declare Crimea, I think maybe
Crimea.
Yeah, as Russian owned as well, and they want to demilitarize Ukraine, which is
so the first three. I understand.
Well, except for
okay, so two and three, I understand as far as the territories, right? And this ties to the theory that Putin's whole goal here is to put the USSR back together.
Yeah.
So I understand those two. The first one, I understand, and that's only because I watched a video of a Putin press conference, believe it or not. And his whole issue here is if
he doesn't want
Ukraine
missiles
joins
closer
NATO.
to Russia.
Exactly. So while I don't agree with him, the point has some logic to it. And I'm basing that off of the Cuban Missile Crisis. Look where we were then when the Soviet Union put missiles in Cuba that were so close to the United States that, in theory, we would not have time to retaliate or react. That's the same logic here. So, again, I'm not saying I agree with it, but there is a sort of logic to that one. The fourth one, asking them to demilitarize, that one I think is unreasonable. That's stupid. If for no other reason than we have seen Ukrainian citizens who are not even part of the military take up arms and defend their homeland.
Yeah.
You want to get rid of the military or have them demilitarized? Fine. You think the citizens are going to stop with? No, they're not. So that last one is the one that truly I don't get.
Yeah. Well,
that's the most unreasonable out of, not that they're reasonable, but that's the one that I have a hard time wrapping my head around.
And to give you an idea of the state, Switzerland, for what I believe is the first time in history, has declared a side in a conflict. Which doesn't happen. I mean, they're famous for not deciding which side to be on.
So I would like to ask, because you guys are smarter than me when it comes to stuff like this, one of the sanctions that was put against Russia was they were banned access from the SWIFT payment system.
Yes, which honestly, I was kind of surprised that it was done so quickly, because there was a lot of news chatter that could have taken weeks to decide, because there are financial repercussions to other countries of doing that action.
So what exactly does that affect? Like if that was to happen in the U.S., what effects would people like you and I see?
So it only affected, I think, 7 banks within Russia. It didn't affect every bank. It was a subset of the banks. But essentially what it means is that transactions outside of Russia were no longer allowed. So they could not make bank-to-bank transfers or anything outside of the Russian territory, which cripples international business if you're with one of the banks that were affected.
All right, so it doesn't hurt. It doesn't stop like a Russian citizen from going to an ATM and taking out money.
It doesn't, as long as your money is within that Russian institution. You know, but it could if you were getting money from there's a lot of cases where you have relatives in other countries that are depositing money into your account. For example, there's a lot of Russians in America who send money back home. So if you are dependent on that money coming into your account from another country, that stopped. And so that could affect the Russian citizens. And it's my understanding that there were a decent amount of those which could be affected. They were trying to affect just the oligarchy with this, but which is why they were strategically hitting only certain banks.
Okay.
You know, but I don't know how effective it was. That's why they also were waiting to say no to the Russian oil, because, again, there's a trickle-down effect, not only for other oil prices, as we were talking before the show, the price of gas, but because while the U.S. is only getting a small percentage of our oil from Russia, Europe is a large consumer of Russian oil. And so they wanted to make sure that they could get alternate supplies without negatively affecting, their economy and their ability to do business if they were to shut off Russian oil. So there's a lot of these huge questions that have to happen because all of our economies are so interconnected now. I mean, something happens to one and everybody goes down, or everybody has a trickle effect to it.
Okay.
And I am by far not an expert. This is just what I hear and what I've seen on, granted, television. So take it for what it's worth.
Colin, I think you were starting to say something.
Oh, I just started. So it's kind of like if you use Barclays for your bank in the U.S., but that's going to be a British bank. So if SWIFT was cut off for the U.S., then Barclays U.S. would only have their cash on hand. And if they don't have enough cash to actually... That's why some of the Russian banks, which had branches in other places in Europe, they're all going under because they don't have enough cash and they can't get to any of the cash in their parent.
Yeah, I know Visa and MasterCard also, I think, suspended all operations in Russia, too. So,
and American Express just went down, too. So
yeah, so...
I think it's one of the last ones, I think.
Say goodbye to credit. Now, with all of this was done with the idea that it would affect Putin, right? That it would harm him. But there's some thoughts that... Because the idea was that he is ultimately held responsible to the oligarchy, the richity rich in the Russian society.
So it wasn't as much him directly. It's more, in theory, it's more if you get all of these powerful people behind the scenes, the Russian Illuminati, if you will, you get them all against Putin, they will have the ability to change his mind.
They'll exert pressure, right? But but
that's the theory.
There's some really smart intelligence officers who say that's an American way of thinking. That the rich people are the one, or that the rich people with all the toys are the ones in power. But a Russian way of thinking is that the rich Russians have their toys in Russia. They're not the globe hoppers. All right. So the rich Russian Illuminati are centralized in Russia. They're the, they're the power players that really pull the strings on Putin.
And they have some toys,
but they're not.
They don't care if their yacht is being taken in the U.S. They have. Putin. It is unproven, but it is thought that Putin might actually be the richest man in the world.
But yeah, so it's an interesting thing. Mama Blair writing in saying it depends on where the credit card was issued. Russian issued MasterCard and Visa works in Russia and vice versa. So yeah, it probably works within the country it was issued in, but they're not crossing paths. They're not crossing country lines. So so anyway, but that's that. We don't really know what's going on there. It's we know that it's a weird There's some weird stuff going on in Putin's mind, though. If you've seen some of those press conferences where he's like at this big table and like 100 feet away are his advisors on other tables, and they just are like, we're going to say whatever he wants us to say because we don't want him to shoot us. I mean, it's some Dr. Evil stuff going on really right now. That's what it reminds me of. You know, like he's just got a button. Yeah, he could dump anybody into a fiery pit. So.
Well, we were joking about this in the locker room on Friday night, you know, because obviously there's video out there you can find of Putin playing ice hockey, right? And I said to the guys, I said, I don't want to be the goalie that's skating against him.
No,
you make a save and wind up in the gulag.
No, you just go here, sir.
Yeah, basically,
he gets the puck. You just go to the side and say free net.
Pretty much.
And if he asks why, you go, I cannot defend against you. You are greatest in the world.
Yeah, basically.
You know.
Now, here's the one thing. Before we move on, there's one thing that happened here in Jersey that really, really, I'm struggling to understand the logic here. The city of Newark.
Okay.
The city council voted unanimously to suspend the operating licenses for several Lukoil gas stations in the city of Newark. Hasn't happened yet, to my knowledge, but the city council that acknowledged these stations are independently owned, so they're franchises.
Oh.
They acknowledged that morally this was the right thing to do because Lukoil's parent is Russian. So morally it was the right thing to do even though they were independently owned. And to me, I'm like, this is virtue signaling at its finest, and it's so friggin' wrong.
Well, this goes
because the records show these stations don't even get their oil. They get their oil from Phillips Conoco.
Well, and this is right along with there has been a string of hate crimes against U.S. citizen Russian birth businesses recently. You know, we are going back to xenophobia against people who are in the U.S. who are just trying to live the American dream because of their origins, because of their lineage. There was one guy who I read about who it's a bakery, and there's two guys that own it, and they got their windows smashed in, they got their place, spray painted up, Russians go home, love Ukraine, yada, yada, yada. The problem is the two people that own it, yes, one of them is Russian. The other one is Ukrainian. Okay.
Yeah, see, this is
I read something. Yeah, the Russian tea room in New York is not many people are going there.
There was one place that was called like the Russia House. They're renaming their restaurant to just the House because of complaints by customers, harassment phone calls, people asking when the restaurant closed and when everybody was out, because that's when they were going to come in and break windows and set fires. This is ridiculousness. This is Japanese internment camps all over again.
Well, and this is my point. The Newark City Council were real quick to issue proclamations and statements saying condemning the boycotting or any action against Asian or Chinese-owned businesses in the wake of COVID, which was the right thing to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't go after them. They're individuals. They're American citizens who are trying to make a living. They had nothing to do with it. But then to turn around and go after, not even owned by Russians.
Yeah.
Lukoil, the name is a Russian company, okay?
I'm sure it employs a ton of Americans.
They're all owned by, by franchisees, and it just I struggle to see the logic behind this, other than it is just political theater.
Yeah,
at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. That is one of the most asinine things I have ever heard.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going off after actual Russian companies that are owned by people in Russia, fine. But we're getting, vodkas are having to rename themselves just to make sure that
Stolichnaya was having to rename itself.
And Stoli is not even, has nothing to do with Russia.
Yeah.
At this point, from what I understand. Now, I took a subtle stance when this all started happening. One of my hockey jerseys was from a team from Belarus, from Dynamo Minsk.
Yeah.
I said, at the time, it was my favorite jersey. But then once I found out that Belarus was allowing Russia to use their country as a staging area, I said, nope, I'm sorry. This jersey's got to go on the shelf. I cannot, even though nobody I skate with would put two and two together, I could not in good conscience wear it. You can't see it because it's on the chair. The red jersey I have with Ivan Drago on it, that's staying on the chair. That's not even going in the closet with the rest of the jerseys. That's staying down here away from all my hockey equipment. That's not getting worn either.
Yeah, so Stoli is made in Latvia, all right, which is independent now. Smirnoff, another one that people think is Russian, is made in Illinois. All right. Yep. Sky is again produced. That's
Denmark, isn't it?
It's produced in the U.S. by the Campari America Corporation, while Absolute is made in Sweden.
I think Russian. There's one Russian Standard, I think.
I don't know.
Yeah, Russian something. Yeah, something like that.
And then there's
one of the only ones that's actually Russian.
There's a brand called Khor, Khor, which is actually made in Ukraine. So, but yeah. I mean,
so this is the other stupidity thing. Like this is the other virtue signaling at its best. When you see these people dumping out bottles of vodka that they've already paid for.
Oh, that's just like when they get upset about...
Regardless of whether it's Russian vodka, like you're dumping out bottles of Stoli or Smirnoff. Okay, we've already discussed, we've established.
Yeah.
You've already paid for it. They got their money from you, pal.
It's no different than when they burn jerseys of sports people.
Exactly. Nike don't give a damn what you do with the jersey once you burn it.
In fact, they'd be happy
if you paid for it. They don't give a damn.
They would love it if you would burn it.
I seem to remember many, many moons ago when we auctioned off a T-shirt that every single one of us signed at a staff picnic. Do you remember that?
I vaguely.
Okay. And do you remember who won that shirt?
No.
It was the Jim and Al show, who at the time were they are exact opposite from us on NHB.
Yeah.
And what did they do? They burned it on air.
Don't hurt me.
So, was I mad about it? Yes. Did we get their money? Yes. The only thing I wish is we had convinced the GIMP to bid it up more.
It's one of those things where I'm going to say what my dad told me a lot of times. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah, I think the stupidest one, the stupidest one by far, are the return of the Freedom Fries. So that's people renaming the Moscow Mule the Ukrainian Mule, or I don't know, the Freedom Mule, or whatever the heck they're doing. They're renaming the Moscow Mule.
I hadn't heard that one yet.
Are you also running a special on Chicken Kiev?
Yeah, bar owners across the United States are renaming Moscow Mules to Kiev Mules in a small act of solidarity with Ukraine. Yeah, because that's going to make a difference. Why don't you just send thoughts and prayers while you're at it? All right.
So how many of them are doing the Kiev combo, where you get a Kiev mule and a chicken Kiev to go with it?
Oh, man. It's just stupidity, I tell you. Some people are nuts. All right. Let's move on to something else. This is crazy. All right. Speaking of crazy, it's not often we can say Ricky Schroeder's back in the news.
This friggin' guy. So the last time he was in the news was because he posted bail for Kyle Rittenhouse, who is famous for his ability to cry on command. But now, I don't even know exactly what was said. It was something about Costco and Nazis and masks. That's all I know.
I'll tell you, many months ago, Ricky Schroeder was denied entry into a Costco because he did not have a mask. He's now he yelled at the guard, "Evil federal government," right? That's your opinion, said one of the guards. He said, "That is my opinion. God's laws are higher than the federal government, but you're going to enforce man's law." After a brief exchange, he told the security guards they don't know God, called them Nazis, and stormed out. Now, I will not claim to have read the whole Bible, but I know people that have. And I asked them, is there anything about masks in the Bible? And they said, there's a few chapters, but it's not in a health reference. They go, cast off your mask and show thyself and, stuff like that. But nothing as far as a health reference could they find as far as you shouldn't wear a mask or you should. They said there's no medical advice that we could find other than washing feet is a good thing. They said we don't know where Ricky got it from. But Ricky,
there's probably a translation difference from the original of if we decided it was mask, and that's probably not what they meant.
Yeah. So,
so when you shared this to the white sheet, mm-hmm. It's funny because I happened to be on Twitter and Jason Bateman was trending. And when you click and you look at the posts, 90% of them are people tweeting, "When I see Jason Bateman is trending, I wonder what Ricky Schroeder has done now." And that's really the only reason that Jason Bateman trends. It's because, I didn't realize this, but I guess Ricky Schroeder got Jason Bateman fired from Silver Spoons back in the day because he felt threatened by him as an actor. And I'm seeing this picture of Rick Schroeder now, and I'm saying to myself, this guy needs to go to Canada with, what's his name? Randy Quaid.
Randy Quaid.
And hide from the Star Whackers because they both got kind of that dollar store Grizzly Adams, $1.25 Grizzly Adams look happening.
Yeah. Well, and somebody made the question, when did Ricky Schroeder get a Southern accent? Later on in the article, it says Schroeder later said, "We're not going to live as slaves." Schroeder made
that's pretty ballsy for a white guy to say, and that's coming from a white guy.
Yeah, that's about as ballsy as an ex-president saying it's a racial attack against me. But so yeah.
I mean, the silver spoon jokes kind of write themselves at this point.
Mm-hmm. I love the responses. White privilege is behaving like an incredulous a-hole and then comparing the minor inconvenience you created for yourself to brutal warmongering genocidal regimes. I love how he thinks telling the guy his name is Ricky Schroeder will help. So far, Ricky Schroeder has done battle with Costco employee and a guard at the Dwight Eisenhower Museum in his courageous fight for America's freedom from mask mandates. And
so, Ricky Schroeder telling the guy at Costco, "Don't you know who I am? I'm Ricky Schroeder." That's kind of like Gallagher at the farmer's market saying, "Don't you know who I am? Give me those watermelons."
Going back to our last topic. There are grandmas in Ukraine making Molotov cocktails to fight off an invading army, and Ricky Schroeder wants you to know he won't be a slave to wearing a mask. Nobody's asking him to wear anymore. I did like that. I was talking about that I watched an interview with some citizens from Ukraine, and they said, "Where did you learn to make Molotov cocktails?" And they said, "YouTube."
You learn everything on YouTube.
Yeah. So... wow, Ricky Schroeder is still that entitled little brat he played on Silver Spoons.
I mean, if Screech wasn't dead, God bless his soul, I would say that the next celebrity boxing match that I want to see is Screech versus Ricky Schroeder.
Yeah.
I wonder if they could get him on Celebrity Boxing. Maybe Jake Paul. Jake Paul would actually kick his ass. Jake Paul's turning out to be a legit boxer at this point. And we watched him in like movies with the puke tub guy. I mean,
yeah. So I just thought that was funny. We're not going to get into a big debate about it, but you know, it's great when
because we have to talk about
go nuts.
Listen. I got a problem here. All right, we survived COVID.
Yes.
We survived murder hornets.
Yes.
We survived the crossbreeds between the great white shark and the seagulls.
Yes.
Now I got parachuting spiders I got to worry about. What hang gliding spiders? What is this? What seventh level of hell is this? And all of this this couldn't happen during a lockdown while you sit there and just watch as they parachute in and, doors are closed. They can't. No, now we can finally start to go everywhere. What happens? Gas prices go so high that we can't afford to go anywhere, and we have spiders that are coming in like it's the Normandy Beach, for God's sake.
No. Don't forget the adjective. Giant parachuting spiders.
Yes, because all spiders parachute. A lot of spiders parachute, but not a bunch of them are 3 inches long.
These bastards are huge.
Okay,
huge.
So just 6 minutes ago came in, but Johnny Gators might want to drink a Moscow Mule, but hesitate to order it, even though that's stupid. So anything that encourages consumers to order something without stupid hesitations isn't a bad business move. I don't know what side you're on at this point. I'm not sure. This is whiskey, by the way, that I've been drinking. Giant parachuting spider. Y'all remember when you were a kid, you go to the drugstore, and in the toy aisle they'd sell these stupid little plastic army men that you would wrap up with the parachute and throw them, and they would try. Yeah. A sky full of these things. Now, what do these spiders do? I didn't read the article because, well, quite frankly, I am quite. The spiders have to go south first. They have to go down to Florida before they come to New Jersey. That's just the way the winds work. What are they? I didn't read the article because, quite frankly, I want to go outside in the warmer weather, and I don't want to have to be looking up at the sky. Are they poisonous?
Well,
can they eat your head?
I was trying to find. There was an episode from Sliders that I think featured these particular ones that I was looking for. If you remember that show.
If all it is spiders coming down, I'm just going to get it with big old sombrero and wear that to protect me, and I'll be fine.
Yeah, basically they stay out. They stay outside. They build giant nests and they kill mosquitoes and stuff. So they're not going to be a pest. They just
if they kill mosquitoes, then bring it on. Bring it on.
They're just very big. That's it.
Like, okay, it's like how big? Like size of my hand, or size of my head, or size of my truck? How big? Am I talking like lavalantula type big, or am I talking?
Well, Mike, here's an idea. So it looks like that.
That's a spider wasp. No. That's from Sliders. That's made up. You're gonna make me Google this myself.
I was just trying to decide how much you'd had to drink tonight. That's all.
It is 3 inches long. That's the measurement
that's big.
That's not giant.
That's not small. That's
3 inches is not giant.
But a little spider's like that. That means it's like that. Think of like a little daddy long leg spider.
But no.
This means when you squash it with your shoe, it's going to like.
I'm not going to squash it though.
Oh, I am.
I'm going to have a conversation with this spider and be like, hey, listen. You kill all these mosquitoes, you can stay here as long as you want. We cool? We cool?
No.
All right.
No.
Yeah.
Not good.
No problem with that.
There you go. I found an actual picture of people looking at one of these spiders, so you can get an idea of the size.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, that's too big. It's way too big. I'm telling you right now.
Put it up.
It's huge. It's way too big. Look at that thing. Look at that.
This is maybe about the size of a sandwich. That's not bad.
Not just a sandwich. No. Fire. They have plastic containers. What they need is blowtorches.
Well, I have a torch. I can always, but I don't want to kill it. If they make this giant web that's going to keep like a canopy.
Look, tell me.
To keep the mosquitoes
tell me this
out.
Doesn't look intimidating. No.
Yeah,
Fire.
it looks intimidating. But
Fire.
No.
Fire.
No.
Fire.
If they don't bite, they're not poisonous. I don't have to worry about any kind of rash. I don't have to worry about stupid idiots running around trying to get bit by this thing to become a superhero. No.
Fire. Fire.
No.
I got the whole thing of gasoline. All right? 3 gallons in the garage.
This is not.
It's going to use it.
This is not 8-Legged Freaks. We should review 8-Legged Freaks. Have you ever seen that movie?
Put up what? Put up the last one?
Yeah.
With the idiot? You got a
what
moron
idiot?
here. You got God damn, it must be a cancer patient because he want to die. He's trying to end it early.
Now, but here's the other thing you can see in this picture.
Ugh.
You know the web. You notice the web is yellow for whatever reason. They have golden webs.
Nuclear radiation. That's what it's got to be. It's a goddamn radioactive spider.
I'm thinking he's thinking radiation. I'm thinking pee.
No, he's going to glow in the dark now. That's all there is to it. I don't believe this crap.
Well, good. You know what? If I glow in the dark because I got bit by one of these spiders,
you ain't never going to sleep at night. It's going to be too bright.
I can save on my electric bill, which will offset the amount for my gas. Maybe I can just stick my fingers into a Tesla and charge it.
Nope. You're going to be like one of those little glow sticks. Last like half an hour and then you're done till the next day. You're going to have to start breaking arms.
No. You know what I do? No. If I got bit by that spider and I started glowing in the dark, I know which neighbors I would go dancing around on their front lawns because I don't like them. I'll keep them up at night. I know which neighbors have the kids that will be afraid of the glowing person.
Of the glowing person?
Oh, yeah. Listen, I'm going to make... I'm going to take advantage of it. If I got to glow in the dark, I am going to damn well take advantage of it.
Watching America's Got Talent Extreme on mute, listening to your broadcast is somehow really in sync. You say fire, there's fire. Fire! That's all I got to say.
I got a question.
It needs to be fire.
So AGT Extreme, why do I feel like this is a ripoff of the Go Big show?
The Go Big show?
Yeah.
I don't know why we got so many shows with people who have death wishes. You know?
Yeah.
It's because Jackass and Johnny Knoxville said he's not going to do another Jackass. So everybody else, there's a void to be filled in the Hollywood hierarchy. And I guess it's cool that we're in sync with AGT Extreme. All right. I mean,
by the way, a legal firm took and totaled up the cost of all the medical bills from Jackass.
I thought we were still on spiders. Okay.
No, I'm moving past spiders. No. Nobody likes spiders. Spiders could lead you to this. So they totaled up the cost of all the crew's injuries. Anybody want to guess how much they totaled up to? And I would guess that this is pre-insurance. $6? Boy, that's not.
No, million.
$6 million.
I'm going to say $12 million.
$24 million.
Does that include all the therapy afterwards?
Knoxville alone is responsible for $8.66 million in medical expenses. He is at the top of the list with Aaron McGahee at 7.38. And down at the bottom, Wee Man and Preston Lacey are at $675,000 and $75,000 respectively. Yeah. The most expensive single thing was Johnny Knoxville's brain hemorrhage at $2.5 million.
Well, yeah, and that happened during the last one, which is the one that made him say, "I'm done here, people."
And then Steve O had $900,000 worth of skin grafts. And McGahee had his neck broken 3 times for a total of $2.7 million.
Oh, okay. So this was total over all the years? Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was total across all the films and TV shows and everything.
Oh, okay. I was thinking just from one movie.
Well, no. And that probably includes Wild Boys, too, which was the spinoff.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
that's a lot of torture to put your body through.
Shaggy.
Yes.
What is this about? Did you spend an exorbitant amount on cosmic brownies?
Yes, I did. And they're not the kind of brownies you think they are. Well, so we've been ordering groceries online, okay? And as a lot of people do nowadays, right? So I order
That's
from
the new thing.
I order from the Walmart, and I check out, and it says, okay, some of your order is going to be delivered, which isn't news. A lot of times this happens. But what they now been doing is they just been delivering it from the store, which is stupid. I'm thinking, why are you going to pay somebody to drive me a box of Frosted Flakes? Why don't you just include it in what I'm picking up, you morons? But whatever. You want to pay somebody to drive me out a box of Frosted Flakes? Fine. So they drive me out my box of Frosted Flakes, and then I get another notice that says, hey, the other piece of your order has shipped. 2 family-sized boxes of cosmic brownies. All right, they're Little Debbie snacks. They're Little Debbie snack cakes. All right, so brownies. So these things are like, I don't know, $3 at the store. Here they are. So just so that you have an idea, that's what they are. Okay. So they're not much. In fact, if we look, they are $2 at Target for the box. All right. You want to take a guess?
That's a 6 count.
Of Okay, so let's say they're $4 a box for the family size because it's like twice as much. So you want to take a guess of how much I paid per box? Because this time they changed it on me, and it wasn't Walmart delivering the Cosmic Brownies to me. It was a third-party seller. So you want to take a guess at how much a box of Cosmic Brownies from a third-party Walmart seller is without looking it up, Colin?
I'm not looking it up. I'm just,
a $4 box is how much, Mike?
Well, no, I can't answer because...
Oh, did I put it in
I'm
there?
looking at... You put it in Slack, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Colin? I didn't look there, but I'm going to say 30.
So they were $18.50 a box.
Man.
So...
And did you not see this when you bought?
I didn't pay attention. All it said is part of your order is going to be delivered. I didn't pay attention. Who thinks they're going to charge you, 6 times the regular amount? So, but luckily, I could return them. And I could return them back to Walmart. So it took these brownies over a week to get to me. And so then I walked them back into the store and said, here, I don't want these $35 worth of brownies. And she says, is there something wrong with them? I said, yeah, they're stupid expensive. And she goes, huh? I said, they're $18 a box. She goes, what? I said, yeah. I could go to your shelf over there and pick them up for about $4. But these things cost $18.60 a box. And so she looks up the order. She looks at the return. She goes, oh, they do this all the time to people. They sent them from a third-party seller. She goes, at least you caught it. I'm like, she goes, yeah, there's not more than like $8 in here. So yeah. So my wife checked out with 2 family-sized boxes of Cosmic Brownies while I returned $36 worth of Cosmic Brownies.
When you started the story, I thought it was going to be like you bought a family-sized thing of Cosmic Brownies.
A queso brownies?
And then for some reason they shipped you 2 cases.
That would have been okay. I wouldn't have minded that as long as it was worth it. But 2 boxes, there's not worth $36.
Well, okay.
So that's like...
Honestly speaking, knowing how these taste, they're not worth any dollar.
They're barely worth the $4.
They're barely worth the $4.
Yeah, the Cosmic Brownies are not my favorite Little Debbie snack. I'll be very clear about that.
They're for the grandkids, so let them eat the garbage.
All right, so basically, listen, you could just give them freaking ice cube made sugar water, and they'd be
yes.
Let's ask the question.
Swiss
what
rolls.
is your favorite Little Derby?
Swiss rolls for Mike. I'm a big fan of the peanut butter crunch bars.
Those are good. I gotta go for the rounds. I don't care which one, whether it's the oatmeal round or the fudge round. But either of those is good.
I'm also a big fan of the Swiss roll.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I love a Swiss roll. But
I think
the Nutty Buddies got to be my favorite.
Oh well, Nutty Buddies too. Yeah, I like those.
Yeah.
I pretty much like all Little Debbie stuff except the brownies. To me, the brownies are just like, they're more like fudge. Whereas brownie should have more of a cake consistency. These feel like they were rolled out and pressed from a 3D bio printer of some sort.
Yeah.
It's the texture. Figaroos. What are figaroos? What are figaroos?
Figaroos?
I've never heard of figaroos.
who made the
so
big
like
bucks
Fig
in the
Newtons.
brownies. Okay. I mean, who tried to collect the jackpot. I don't know, but the person, I don't know who tried to make the big bucks on the brownies. I'd have to look that up. But evidently, there is an option while you're shopping Walmart that you can filter what you're shopping for to say only from Walmart.com. And the lady behind the counter said, it's really a pain to find, and I wish they would just set it by default, but they get a commission from third-party vendors, so that's why they don't. So
I actually found an article that is relevant, a list that is relevant to our conversation here, and it is a ranked list of Little Debbie brownies from worst to best.
Of Little Debbie
and
snacks?
What Little Debbie brownies.
Oh, brownies. I didn't know they had multiples.
I will send this to you.
Okay.
So, the worst, remind you, this is worst to best.
Oh, this is Little Debbie snacks ranked worst to best. Okay. So
well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because.
Oh, no, you're right.
I got brownies.
Boy, there's a lot of brownies on this worst to best list.
All right, so the worst ones are cosmic brownies.
Yep.
Then they have next best, fudge brownies with English walnuts, not American, English walnuts, because there's a difference. Oh, yeah, there you go. You can scroll.
Yeah,
that would be.
Got it. Yep, hold on. There we go.
All right, so we got cosmic brownies there.
Yep.
And we've got fudge brownies with English walnuts. What is the difference between English and American walnuts? I don't know.
I don't know. I know there's a difference between regular walnuts and black walnuts, but I don't know about
Well,
English
I'll tell you
walnuts.
what. You know why they rank down near the bottom? The English walnuts. If they had American walnuts, they'd rank higher. Next, zebra brownies. This is like Little Debbie's attempt at the black and white cookie that you can find in any bakery anywhere. It's okay, but not great.
No.
Little brownies. These are the bite-sized ones.
These are chocolate cakes. That's all these are.
Yes. And you know why they rank so high? These are the top because there's no biting involved. It's just pop one and chew.
Yeah.
That's it.
Also, I should just say, since I'm familiar with this particular website, they're only really caring about nutrition.
Oh well. Next one. Red Velvet.
Yeah. Yes, now we're
these are cakes, worst to best. Red Velvet, okay, that means they're the least nutritious. That means they're the most delicious. So, wait a minute. Maybe that means cosmic brownies are the most delicious.
No, because sometimes it can be both.
PB Richie's. I've never heard of these things, but these look like a chocolate Twinkie filled with peanut butter cream. I'm all about it. Give them to me.
It's a peanut butter choco dial.
Choco dial. That's right. I forgot about choco dials. Cookies and cream cakes. Those look like they just get me sick real quick.
Yeah. Fancy cakes.
This is what you get for a redneck wedding.
Yeah. Chocolate chip cream pies. Those don't look too bad. Honestly.
No, they don't, actually. And there you go.
Swiss rolls.
Swiss rolls, baby.
Those are the best. Zebra cakes. They're good. Like those. But I make a double decker one. Do you do the same thing? Where you take two of them because they come in a pack of two. So you eat just the cake part off one, and then you eat the cake part off another one, and you double it up like Oreos. Yeah.
Never thought about doing that.
Yep. Banana rolls, but not bad. I've had those.
No,
but I
I'm going to
prefer
pass.
Boston cream pies. I don't know if they'll be on the list or not, but devil squares, all right. I'd never seen a zebra cake roll. Never seen a zebra cake roll. Because I would eat it.
I'm intrigued. Peanut butter cream pie. Oh.
That goes in my round category.
Yeah.
Okay.
Boston cream rolls. Yes, those are good. And they're bigger. They're actually bigger than the other rolls. Because, like, this gets 12 cake rolls. You only get 6. They're actually bigger.
Okay.
Chocolate cupcakes. I'll take a regular Hostess cupcake over a Little Debbie cupcake. Cosmic cupcakes. All right. redheaded stepchild of cupcakes. Oatmeal cream pies. That's a classic. Banana Twins. I've had them. Again, double-deckering it is the only way to go.
I need to find a Little Debbie outlet store or something because half of these things I have never seen before. And now, damn it, I'm hungry.
Strawberry shortcake rolls. They're all right. They're not great. I want chocolate.
Devil creams as opposed to devil dogs. Suddenly I feel like I'm in Aldi territory where they have like horned cakes instead of devil dogs.
Chocolate creams. These are their attempt at ding-dongs. PB rounds. No.
I'm all about it. I'm all about this. I am all about this. This looks like a giant do-si-do cookie covered with fudge. I want it now. Fine. I'm going on Amazon. PB round. Can I get them?
Marshmallow pies. If I want a moon pie, I will buy a moon pie. I do not want a mini moon pie from Little Debbie. Chocolate marshmallow pies, jelly cream pies. Nope. Don't need that. Fudge rounds. There you go, Colin.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I can bring myself to spend $16.97 on two boxes of PB.
I don't need raisins in my desserts. Thank you. Star Crunch. Those are weird. They're, I don't know, they're too chewy. It's the caramel. Cloud cakes are just Twinkies. Donut sticks are good for breakfast. No strawberry. Those mini frosted donuts, yep. Mini glazed, yep. Don't care for the crunch.
Hold on.
What? Mini crunch?
I can get the peanut butter cream pies at. Okay. No, those aren't the ones I was looking at.
All right.
There ain't no chocolate covering them.
All right.
PB round.
So that pretty much is a lot of those. So let's see here. What else do we got that we need to cover before?
Oh, wait. So down at the bottom,
okay,
we actually get into Nutty Buddy and Friends.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe we do.
You should just go all the way to the bottom.
I'm going. Hold on. So Nutty Buddy,
pastries, honey bun.
Peanut Butter Crunch. Those are pretty good cold. Fig bars. No, I don't want no damn fig bar. Salted caramel cookie bars.
That's what Mama Blair was talking about. Is a figaroo, is the fig bar. That's what she was saying when I looked up figaroo.
Salted caramel cookie bars aren't bad. Zebra nutty bars. What the hell? Where do they get those from? And that's it.
I don't know.
So, all right.
I love how they end this. And now that you've gotten a bit more familiar with crazy additives and icky foods, find out what causes cellulite. That's the last line of the article. Really? I just went into a diabetic coma reading all of this stuff, and you're going to talk to me about cellulite? Man, listen.
All right.
I'm on a mission.
So, because we've got the double feature movie review coming up here shortly, I think it's only fair that we talk about two things. We'll talk first about Netflix's new superhero show, which looks a bit odd, honestly, called The Guardians of Justice, which originally I thought maybe they were taking that weird Russian movie called The Guardians, which was like a Avengers knockoff, and they were turning it into a television show. With Bear Man or whatever in the hell he was, but no, this is something completely different. And, so it's a show which kind of like Llamageddon switches between animation and live action. It's I don't know. It's got a bit of an Adult Swim aesthetic. It's I don't know. It's weird.
This reminded me. I told you this looked like when I watched the trailer. The first thing that I thought of was this is if Mindhorn was a superhero show.
I
had to go back and look up the title, but I just no. I do not. This looks like something the Asylum would put out.
It does seem a bit weird, and there doesn't seem to be, at least from what I can tell, there doesn't seem to be a lot of big names on it, which maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. I mean, they're doing a lot of, kind of. They're doing a lot of experimental stuff. Let's put it that way. But I don't know. It could be interesting to watch a couple episodes of and see where it goes. I've been kind of surprised by some of the ones that I've given a shot to, and just to see where it ends up at. But then I've also been disappointed because they didn't get picked up because not enough people were into them. So, but there are a lot of really interesting movies coming out here shortly.
Not just movies. I'm starting to find a lot. My neighbor turned me on to Resident Alien.
Yeah, that one.
The TV show on Sci-Fi. I am all about that. I am very disappointed in myself that I didn't give it a shot to begin with.
Yeah, I kind of got that one on the back burner to go to maybe after I get done with Lucifer. My wife actually caught me watching the end of Lucifer episodes, and she goes, "Really? You're into this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I know. It's weird." It was an episode where at the end of it, a guy had gouged his eyes out. And she goes, "You, the guy who doesn't like horror movies, is into this?" I'm like, "It's normally not this directly gory, but yeah, it's weird." And, but Netflix also has like some really good movies coming out. I mean, Colin, you brought up the fact that Adam Project is getting released. Is it today or tomorrow? Something like that?
Sometime this week. But yeah. I was looking, there's all these new movies that are coming out. So I was like, instead of sticking them on a list and then having them expire after they've been on a list for 3 years, should probably do something about it.
Yeah, so I mean, we can think about adding like a new release plus one random episode. When we
definitely plus one.
Yeah, when we have a new release that's worthwhile. But when we do that, we have to make sure that we give it a real rating here. Because the Adam Project does look very interesting. Of course, it's a Ryan Reynolds film, so it's going to be good, I would imagine. I'm just gonna put it out right now. It's not getting a meh or below. All right, it's just not gonna happen. It's gonna be above a meh. I can't think that it.
Yeah, I almost feel like these movies may have to get rated on a different scale.
Which
that's not a bad idea.
Entirely possible, but I mean, Red Notice did extremely well for us. We reviewed that when it kind of came out. When it came close to when it was released. And I mean, people are going to look towards us as the definitive, decision maker of whether they should watch a show or not. I mean, Ryan Reynolds did put out that Paperman movie, and so he has been known to put out a stinker or two. Also, that one with the talking dog.
And lest we forget that one where he was in that green animated superhero costume.
All right, see that now we're gonna fight. All right, because I didn't think that was bad.
Yeah, we are.
Well,
that's your own fault.
At least he wasn't playing a cobbler. All right. So.
At least he had a mouth.
Yes. Which, by the way,
take the merc with the mouth and get rid of his mouth. Stupid.
Which, by the way, I did find something based on our last show, Mike, that I wanted to put up for a vote to see if we would be interested in. I just
Go ahead.
Find it. Where was it at? I have to figure out which list I put it on because I thought I put it on. Let's see here, 3-pack. Because I figured that I can get it in a 3-pack delivered to my place, and then I only have to ship one to you.
Okay.
So what would you say to trying out... Oh, no, not that. That's not what I wanted. This guy. That's what I wanted. stay on the damn picture I put you on. This. Little Nitro. The world's hottest gummy bear.
Well, I'm not opposed to it, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know how you guys are with spices. That's the thing.
Well, I tell you this, Mike. I bought those chips that you had last time to try them.
Yeah.
And I'll say those are fine as long as you continue to eat them. As long as you're eating them, they're fine. It's when you stop eating them that they attack.
I told you. When the air gets to it, right?
So, Little Nitro
by the way, they
is infused
when they sit.
Yeah. Do they get worse?
When they sit for a little while, they get a little more pungent. Because this bag obviously has just been open.
Does it tell you what the Scoville rating is on those, Mike? It doesn't tell you the heat index?
No, it
just says hot.
Yeah, it just says
super hot. Or no, freaking hot.
Let's see here. Okay, so it's between 9,000 and 21,000 Scovilles. Okay, is what somebody is saying. So take that into account.
And I guess that would depend on
the amount
how much
powder
dust is on there. Yeah.
Yeah. So Little Nitro is infused with 9 million Scoville units of chili extract.
Wait, how much?
9 million.
Compared to how much?
9 million.
No, what did you say the Pocky was?
Somewhere between 9,000 and 21,000.
And that's not 9 million.
Million. Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely not. I like my organs to be solid, not liquefied.
It's 900 times hotter than a jalapeno pepper.
Yeah. So let me read some of the questions and answers from Amazon here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Question: is it a suppository? Answer: anything can be a suppository if you're motivated enough.
Wow.
Question: is it really that hot? Answer: from a man who consumes ghost peppers daily, never again. Was too hot for him. Was a fun experience, though. What is the name of the specific pepper used in this product? Answer: the Little Nitro Gummy Bear is not made from a specific pepper. It actually just contains concentrated capsaicin extract. Review: 5 stars. This was so hot my kid had diarrhea for 3 days. Thought the first night I might have to take him to the ER. 5 stars, crying, laughing face.
Okay, so according to Pocky, by the way, they said their chips are not rated, but ghost peppers are around 1 million Scoville.
Okay.
So your estimate is probably pretty far off.
Okay.
They don't have an official rating because Scovilles can vary based on the batch of peppers that are harvested for that season. They're the best guess, and this is from Pocky, is that the chips are around 1 million Scovilles.
Okay, so this should be a walk in the park for you.
Not happening, though.
No, it's not happening.
It's only 9 times hotter.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You know what? Here, let's just look this up here. How much is that?
It was $26. 9 million Scovilles.
Okay. $26. You know what? For just a little bit more, overall, a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Send it to you.
Okay, so this is Da Bomb Beyond Insanity hot sauce, made with habanero and chipotle. Gluten-free. It's gluten-free, Mike. What are you doing buying gluten-free?
Are you aware of this hot sauce?
No, not really.
Really now? So
no,
apparently
I don't
you've
watch
never,
hot ones.
Then, okay, then that's why you are so nonchalant about this.
Well,
this is the sauce that gets every single one of them. If you go on YouTube and just look up Da Bomb reactions, you will find compilations of all the celebrities who get cocky. The best one, in my opinion, is Shaquille O'Neal, which, by the way, when he gets hit by this, you realize just how big of a giant of a man he is, because he picks up a gallon of milk like it's a glass and starts drinking.
All right. So are you thinking that we would... Because we could just send one bottle to us, and then I could, like split the bottle with Colin if you're getting a bottle for yourself.
Are we really? We're really going to do this?
Which sauce? I lost track. Which sauce are we talking about?
You watch Hot Ones, Colin?
Oh, I did. So which sauce are we talking about?
Number 7.
Da Bomb Beyond Insanity.
No, what's that? I would rather get one of the hotter ones than the bomb. The number one thing that everybody agrees about with the bomb is it doesn't taste good.
So
that's if you give me a very hot, tasty sauce, I'm happy. But a very hot sauce that tastes like that doesn't taste good, then nah.
Oh God!
Now, you know those chips that they
inhaled
sell
at the wrong time.
the single chip challenge that they sell.
The one chip
those are
challenge.
That's 1.7 million.
Okay.
So they sell one chip, and you were suggesting something that's 9 million. No. That's just. I'll tell you what, Shaggy. You go ahead and do that. You send it to all of us. Me and Mike will join you in eating that red gummy bear.
Well, all right. Well, hold on. There was one other one that maybe this would be fine with. Then, what about the 2X hot ramen? You like ramen, Colin?
Yeah.
So this isn't terribly hot. I have seen many people eat this, but there is a 2x spicy ramen.
Oh, that's a good brand too. A Samyang?
Bulldog, I think, is what I'm seeing.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's a 2x spicy, but it is hot chicken flavored ramen.
Okay.
Now, it's tasty, but it's still, would be a type of challenge. I've seen a lot of people where it makes their nose run and stuff like that, and it is not the terribly comfortable thing to do. Mike?
I've got 3X, too.
Can baby steps here. See what the 2X does before we...
And a 5-pack of them is only $9. So it's an inexpensive thing where we would have extras to give to friends to have fun with them as well. So, all right.
All right.
You could have Kim try it, Mike.
Oh, the hell I can. I like my life.
Just go, hey, honey, I made you dinner. So, anyway. All right. It's way past time. We need to get to our double feature movie review. On this evening's show, we are handling a classic and a new one. So we have, is it Beyond the Wire? Is that what the name of the show is?
Outside the Wire.
Outside the Wire. Which is a fairly new release from Netflix. And then just an 80s classic that doesn't get talked about nearly as much as it should. Once Bitten, available right now on YouTube, if you're interested in it there. So let's see here. Mike, you are most excited about Once Bitten being on the list and coming up. So I'll go ahead and we'll start off with you, and let's start off with Once Bitten.
Okay. So, hold on. I got it. Since I just ate a chip, I got to take a drink. Hold on. I'm not used to going first. Okay. So when I found out that this movie was available for free with ads on YouTube, it had to go on the list. Well, reason why? Multiple. First of all, it's 80s cheese at its best. Second, this movie is legendary when it comes to Jim Carrey. Any documentary on him talks about his career and goes from the Duck Factory to Earth Girls Are Easy. He does not speak of this movie at all and tries to act like it doesn't exist. For that reason alone, it must be viewed, it must be spoken of, and it must be shared. Fun fact, this movie was originally written with Michael J. Fox in mind for the leading role. And I don't know whether he turned it down or had a conflict, but I'm going to Jim Carrey. The plot is very simple. A high schooler wants to lose his virginity, and that's it at its core. His girlfriend is not giving it up, in spite of his amazing ride, which is an ice cream truck. The twist here is that he loses his virginity to a vampire, played by the great Lauren Hutton. Mark's bumbling friends, in their oddball quest to also get laid, provide a fun subplot to the main movie. Because I'm still not sure how Jamie wound up in a dryer without anyone noticing. Now, like most 80s movies, there's a dance with a live band at the high school. And I think I watched this dance scene way too many times when I was a kid, when this movie first came out, because yes, I had a crush on Robin for a hot second. The movie quickly culminates in the fight/chase scene at the Countess's mansion, and there is quite a silly resolution to this whole story that's quite fitting for the era of this film. So, puke to Schnikes, I'm giving this one S-eating grin. It is a classic 80s film that would fit right in with a weekend showing of maybe Back to School or maybe Midnight Madness, perhaps. But definitely a movie that you want to check out.
All right. Colin, we'll let you go next.
Okay, I don't have much to say about this movie. I'm glad I didn't have to go first because I don't have that much to say about this movie. Other than, so it's a movie. It's interesting seeing Jim Carrey so early in his career, and that there's points where you see the Jim Carrey that will be so famous later. And it's interesting seeing some like. The only other thing I can remember seeing Cleavon Little in is Blazing Saddles. And so it's like, oh, for some reason I thought that he was dead before this era, and I don't think he lasted much longer than this. So as far as 80s teen sex rock movies go, this is definitely, I think, high on the list of ones that I enjoy. I was going to give it just a regular grin.
All right. My turn. So the reason why Michael J. Fox was not in this one is because Michael J. Fox was busy filming another movie at the same time. You were correct about that, Mike. What you were incorrect about is if there was a double feature in the 80s with Once Bitten, it would have been with the movie that Michael J. Fox was filming, Teen Wolf. Because obviously, if you're going to have a vampire double feature movie, you're going to have the werewolf movie with it. So what's really interesting about that actual tidbit is that Michael J. Fox thought Teen Wolf was going to be the end of his career. He was so upset about filming that movie. He thought that it was going to bomb. And the only reason why it didn't is because Back to the Future came out first. Back to the Future came out in June. June. Teen Wolf came out in August of that year. And so Back to the Future was still in the #1 spot when Teen Wolf came out. So, that's why his career still continued to go forward, and Teen Wolf actually made money. Otherwise, he thought that movie was stupid. And it took 2 shots at the director of Family Ties to get them to allow him to actually make that movie. But anyway, back to Once Bitten. Once Bitten, like Mike said, Jim Carrey doesn't talk about this movie. In fact, he's quoted as saying, listen, going to this movie won't change your life, but it definitely will change his, and not for the better. He wants people to forget about this movie at all costs. It had been a while since I watched this movie, and I forgot how much I thoroughly enjoyed it. This, like Mike, was a movie that I watched again and again and again, but I forgot some of the reasons why I liked it so much. It's so quintessentially 80s. I mean, it's got some of the greatest things in it. So, woman walking a lion down the sidewalk. It's as much as Axel Foley driving his car down Beverly Hills. All right, lip phones at the cocktail tables. Who would have thought of that idea for a pickup bar? Boy, he is very limber getting into that steamer trunk at his house. All right, that is not that big of a trunk for him, because he's not short. He's not a small person for him to fit in. And I honestly had forgotten about the dance-off, and not since American Pie 3, American Wedding have we had a dance-off as epic as that one. All right. There needs to be more dance-offs in films. I mean, and there needs to be more quality soundtracks. If you actually listen to the music in this film, you know that, Once Bitten was a song written for the movie. All right. There was, you could hear the bespoke music that was created for this movie and worked really well. The song during the dance-off was, obviously choreographed against and everything else, and it just brought some meaning to the film rather than just them picking out top hits, right? So I really appreciated that as a moviegoer, and I want people to bring that back. I don't want people just to go to the top 40 selection and say, well, this will work, that'll work, that'll work. No, I want some Eye of the Tiger moments where they say, hey, we want this song here because Rocky's running up a flight of stairs. That's what I want. And Once Bitten delivers on that. So if you're a fan of the 80s films, I'm going to tell you right now, kids, if you're under 30, this movie isn't for you. All right? It's just not for you. It's for all of us who are older, who remember a time when this happened, and want to relive that. And as a PG-13 movie back then, it's very tame. So it's something that, you can sit down and watch with your parents and not worry about it. And, Lauren Hutton, the only thing that I remember seeing her before this was Zorro the Gay Blade, which she did amazing in as well. So anyway, That's my review on this, and I'm going to give it a smile. No, actually, I'm going to change it. I'm going to give it an S-eating grin, just like Mike did. It deserves bigger than a smile. S-eating grin. All right, Mike.
So if regular grin was under smile, then it goes up to smile.
No, grin's above smile. S-eating grin's above that. No.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It goes grin, smile, S-eating grin.
Okay, smile.
Okay. All right, Mike. You're muted. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Outside the wire. First line shown during this movie's opening sequence. A violent civil war has erupted in Eastern Europe. When I read this, I was very close to emailing and pulling the plug on reviewing this movie based on current events in the world. But I said, all right, we'll go through with it. Why not? Imagine that. A soldier screws up, and instead of prison, they send you into the suck. Okay? I can do this all day, Anthony Mackie says at one point, and I wonder if he threw that in there as a reference to Endgame from his scenes with Captain America, or a Cap reference. What was it in? Yeah, it was Endgame. Cap fighting himself says, "I can do this all day." I sit here and I watch this movie, and I wonder if this drone pilot. I was thinking that maybe the drone pilot was actually the next gen cyborg. And Anthony Mackie knew that, but kind of like in Terminator Salvation, how the guy was a Terminator and he didn't know it. But I was wrong about that. But the drone pilot was about to meet the same fate that got him into this mess. Like he was. So my thought, look, this movie quickly turned into a cliche anti-war rhetoric movie, and like iRobot meets Terminator. I wasn't a fan. I started off the movie started off entertaining with the banter back and forth between the two main characters, but when it started going cliche, I don't know if the current situation in the world made me lose interest in this movie, or if the movie was just that uninteresting and cliche. Honestly, I give this one a meh. There wasn't anything that stood out about this movie that makes me say, you got to go see this, or anything that says, don't go watch it. It was horrible. So, meh, middle of the road. I got nothing good either way.
All right. Colin, you're up next.
I can see that. So this movie is kind of a cross between... Yeah, iRobot, I can see that. But it's also like, was it Training Day? The standard plot of rookie gets matched up with a superior, and it's like going through, this is how things work, and then you find out things take a bad turn. It's that usual plot. But yeah, they went through some very interesting things that we are dealing with, like drone pilots, and I think in real life we're having problems with the drone pilots kind of falling apart for what they're doing, not so much getting disassociated. But I can see that long term having issues. So that's interesting things to cover in a movie. I think this is half of a good movie. Where it had some interesting things to say, especially being kind of topical. I think it kind of degraded into Madman and ending up in a James Bond place that's going to blow up kind of situation at the end. I don't know. I feel like they could have taken it a better place. I would give it better than meh, but just barely. So, Smirk?
I think that's a shrug.
I'll give it Spark.
Okay. So, boy, I was anticipating kind of a different movie than what this ended up being. Anthony Mackie plays the super soldier in this movie. So, we had the new Captain America movie before it was out, is what I was thinking we were walking into. And that's not really what we end up with here, which I guess is a good thing because he doesn't want to be typecast into that role. But boy, this movie is definitely aimed at people who like war movies and who like this type of conflict action. As for the authenticity of what happens in active military zones and what happens behind the scenes and what things really take to make change, I can't speak to. I can only, surmise that probably some of the situations shown in this movie are probably pretty accurate. I'm sure that sometimes you got to go a little bit outside the rules to do things right. But this movie kind of takes things a bit to the extreme, and it definitely plays that, the AI is smarter than everybody else and has found ways to work around the system they were put in place and therefore, can take care of things, by manipulating the situation. So it's an interesting movie. It's got some interesting ties. The break in reality that I saw, the break in the storyline being able to be held up, was really in the fact that that the co-star Harp, says right in the initial greeting that he doesn't have the wartime experience, doesn't have the Black Ops experience, but yet we see him about halfway through the movie suddenly have these skills, suddenly have the ability to take care of himself. He isn't floundering around. He's showing what I would perceive as, good training towards those things. Not that he's perfect at it, but he's better than what I would assume somebody who was just a joystick jockey would have. But I think some of the moral of the story makes perfect sense towards the end. I think it is trying to teach us a moral lesson at the outset. So, I think that we do, with the inclusion of technology in warfare, we are distancing the humanity. So I think that is a valuable lesson that we need to take note of, because as we mechanize the warfare and we step further away from it, and we aren't the ones pulling the trigger, there in front of the person who's going to be taken down, I think it has a tendency to remove the humanity from it. So it's an interesting movie. It's probably not one I'm going to revisit, and that's a requirement for anything bigger than a smile. So I, like Mike, am going, and it's not really in my vein. I'm more of a comedy guy. With my action, I really want it to be more funny. So I'm gonna give this one a shrug. It's on the positive side of meh, but just barely. So shrug from me. All right. So we know that, or we have a pretty good idea that we want to hit the Atom Project on our next round.
Yeah, is that Netflix or is that Amazon?
That's Netflix. So then we need to hit one more random.
1 through 48.
1 through 48. 38.
I don't like this one. It's on Amazon.
Okay.
Called Honesty Weekend. When a young couple on the rocks is prescribed a weekend of total honesty to turn their marriage around, when their rambunctious group of friends joins them for a getaway, the good, the bad, and the hilarious comes out in a way that only longtime friends can reveal. This no-holds-barred weekend of truth-telling, fun, and chaos may not have been the best idea.
So it's got 3 out of 5 stars with 49 ratings.
This has the potential to, I don't know.
To be awesome is what you're saying. To be completely amazing. Thought it couldn't get worse. Then the fat guy starts complaining about his fat wife being perms fat. I like it. I like where this is going. Just with comments like that. Oh. There's plenty of there it is totally a mixed bag of love it or hate it. 37% love, 25% hate. It is a love it or hate it.
Anybody want to bet what side we're going to fall on?
Oh, this is going to be great. It's going to be great. And at least with Amazon, we can still post our reviews. So, all right. Okie dokie. So that runs us for this week. So, with that said, we want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight and helping out with the show. Glad to know that our phones work. We want to thank everybody for helping spread the word about the show. Really appreciate, you guys tuning in, downloading. I have updated the podcast feed, so if you were behind on our shows, they're now available for everybody to get caught up. And I will try and make sure that this one is uploaded tomorrow. I'm going to try and get it on time this time, and try and keep up this time. I say that every time I fall behind, though. But anyway, so yeah, we're gonna be back in 2 weeks as per normal. That puts us back on the 21st. So, catch us then at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. And don't forget to always pay attention to our social medias at PTR Radio on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, etc. You guys got anything coming up?
Not until April 3rd, 2nd, April 2nd. That's my auctioneer debut.
All righty. Looking forward to that. I also got a gig on April 9th. I'll talk about more on the next show. So, with that said, folks, we do hope that everybody stays healthy, happy, and, all those other good things. Sending positive vibes your way. So, with that said, I'm Shaggy.
I'm Colin.
I am Mike the 8-Man.
Stick a fork in us, folks. We are done. Later.